This is major. Meet Justice Haynes, who just entered the transfer portal. Now, Haynes starred at Michigan Wolverines this past season. He went off this past season, y'all, for 857 yards and 10 touchdowns. He had 5 games, y'all, to start the season with over 100 yards rushing. 5 consecutive games now, y'all, with over 100 yards rushing. Cooked New Mexico State for over 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had a big game in his final game pretty much with the Wolverines before he went out with the injury against Michigan State. That game, dude went off for 152 and 2 tugs. You talk about a guy that has home run ability. You talk about a guy that's elite with the ball in his hands. This is Justice Haynes. Now, there is a team already in the building for him. Now, if y'all didn't know, Justice Haynes is a Georgia native, right? Started here at Blessed Trinity, played a couple of seasons before going over to Buford. Now, what team am I talking about? No, I ain't talking about Georgia. I'm talking about Georgia Tech down below. Now, major for the Yellow Jackets because they've had so many guys hit the portal this offseason. They've lost pretty much everybody. And from coaches to players, pretty much everybody. But one thing I will say about Georgia Tech, they're doing an awesome job recruiting in the transfer portal. They're landing elite players. You go look at Jalen Mbakwe, that was major. Former 5-star prospect that played both sides of the ball. We'll see what he does with Georgia Tech when he gets there, though. This will be another elite get. Now, why would this be elite for Georgia Tech? This is elite for Georgia Tech simply because this will pair him with Malachi Hosley. Now, Malachi Hosley had a dynamic year this past year as a redshirt sophomore coming over from UPenn. He could have ran for 1,000 yards. They leaned more on, obviously, Haynes King, who ran for 922 and nearly 16 touchdowns this year. But you telling me whatever quarterback they're going to get, they got a two-headed monster in the backfield? Defenses are definitely going to stack the box to stop these guys, right? You're not going to try to let Malachi Hosley go off against you. You're not going to try to let Justice Haynes go off against you. That's going to set up the play action with the tight ends. They just got Chris Corbo from Dortmund and whoever else they get, obviously, in the portal, and then dynamic weapons on the outside as well. That's going to make for a problem. And one thing that Georgia Tech wants to do, they want to be physical. They want to punch you in the mouth. You go and look at what Miami doing, that's basically what Georgia Tech wants to do in terms of running the damn football. And they're going to do that. And that's going to give more touches for Justice Haynes and for Malachi Hosley. The good thing is he's going to be able to stay fresh because he has a whole nother back that's elite like him. Now, I know Michigan just re-signed Jordan Marshall to another deal who's going to stay with Michigan and obviously be their main back. But still, you got a player of that caliber on Georgia Tech right now. And like I said, there's been so much turmoil. Guys have left and right. You look at the totality of this team. Isaiah Kenyon just committed to Georgia, right? That's kind of a smack in the face, committing to your rival. You lost Bailey Stockton, who left for Florida. Aaron Fowler, who left for Florida. Harrison Moore, who left for Florida. Everybody pretty much left and went to Florida. You also lost to graduation Malik Rutherford, Eric Rivers, and Dean Patterson. Luckily, they haven't lost any running backs yet. So this would be major, man. I mean, say what you want about Georgia Tech. People always give them that kind of moniker of being cheap. I wouldn't say this team is cheap at all. They're going for the fences. Even when we go back and we talk about Aaron Fowler, they matched that $3 million offer. He just had a better relationship with Buster Faulkner and wanted to follow his coach. Same with the other 2 players I previously mentioned. But Georgia Tech is matching. And I'm going to be a whole 100% honest with y'all. They just got 2 $10 million donations as well. And one thing people don't know, over 30% of people that go to Georgia Tech end up being multimillionaires. So you telling me that they're not going to want to contribute and see their alma mater win? Especially in this new landscape of college football, we see guys like Mark Cuban, formerly of Indiana, wanting to give donations to keep his team out on top. Georgia Tech can easily get the same thing. They have a whole bunch of CEOs, former players that end up becoming big. You tell me they don't want to see Georgia Tech win? Their alma mater win? Come on, bro. Now, the only thing with Justice Haynes is he's going to be a little bit pricey, right? Already been reported by several high-end reporters that it could be about $2.6 million offer. Now, that is a lot for a running back, and you're probably going to get about 1 season for him before he goes off to the NFL because he is that caliber of a talent. But damn, that's a pretty good tandem that you got in the backfield along with some young thoroughbreds as well. So you feel pretty good about what your offense is going to be. Now, we don't know what Coach Godsey is going to look like, obviously, in year 1, but damn, you got 2 pretty good running backs. That does a lot for you and takes some pressure off whatever transfer portal quarterback you get, or if you go the young route with a Graham Knowles. So yeah, man, I say major for Georgia Tech. They're doing an outstanding job of recruiting. Like I said, landing 2 basically former 4.5, 5-star blue chip prospects out of the portal. That's major, bro. And this would be big for them. Now, look, they haven't landed him yet, but they have been called a team to watch. If they can land him, though, that's an A+ pickup. This guy will be in the league. You look at everything he did this year, 80+ grade, overall grade on PFF. I think he had an 81 running grade this year per PFF. 400, I think, and 50 yards after contact, 18 10+ yard runs, which basically means explosive runs. This dude has home run ability. And Georgia Tech, I don't want to say they've been missing that because they leaned on Haynes King a lot, but to have 2 of those, Lord have mercy. And in the ACC, and you're going to be that physical caliber bunch, yeah, look the hell out, man. But say what you want about Georgia Tech. I don't think they're playing around no more. I think they're serious about winning. And despite them losing so much, they're rebuilding, retooling this roster. And I think it's a win, bro. If you can go and win like 7, 8 games next year, you know what I'm saying, with everything that you lost, that's a win for Coach Key to me. Because it's hard to replace all that and be able to come back and have a productive season, man. But that's a new era of college football, man. But Justice Haynes is him. Number 3 running back according to On3 transfer portal rankings and a 94 overall prospect. You don't get much better than Justice Haynes in the portal, especially with other guys that have already committed. Elite find and a gift for Georgia Tech if they can land him.